Hi friends, Miss Delia here. So I'm going to review with you how to use scale use scale factor to solve for a single side length, and then also how to use scale factor to find the area of something. All right, so remember, scale factor is the ratio of a side length to one figure to a corresponding figure, or side length of another figure. It can be written as a fraction or with a colon, okay, or with the word 2. So they're going to give you the scale factor, and what I want you to do is write it as a ratio. They may give it to you that way, but unlikely. And when I say ratio in specific, I want it as a fraction. So here it was 3 inches to 5 feet, so I wrote 3/5. Make sure to label those units. So don't just leave it as 3/5, write 3 inches over 5 feet. Then set up an equivalent fraction, ensuring that your units in the denominator are the same and your units in the numerator are the same. So I gave you a different scale factor, but here it was 2 centimeters, so on the other side I wrote centimeters. Here it was 6 yards, so on the other side I wrote yards. And then they will give you at least a value, if not 2. And you're going to choose one to put in there. So if it's centimeters, I'm going to put it up top. If it's yards, I'm going to put it down on the bottom. Then I'm looking for the multiplicative relationship between the two pieces that I have. So in this case, I had 4 inches and 20 inches. Well, I can do 4 times 5, and that equals 20. All right, then I use that to find the missing value. If 4 times 5 is 20, whatever I do to the top, I'm going to do it to the bottom. So 5 times 5 is 25. All right? That's how scale factor works. And I'm going to give you an exact example. All right, it says the scale of a room in a blueprint is 3 inches to 5 feet. That's that scale factor. A wall in the same blueprint is 18 inches. How long is the actual wall? All right, well, I need to write this scale factor, and I'm going to underline it. That's my scale factor. I need to write it as a ratio, just like it says over there. So I'm doing 3/5, and I like to make sure to write inches and feet with it as I do that. So I did step 1 and 2. Step 3, set up an equivalent fraction. All right, well, the word equal is equivalent, so equal fraction, ensuring that your units in the denominator are the same and your units in the numerator are the same. Okay, so in this case, it's inches, and on the bottom, it's feet. And then I need the number from the word problem. So it said that a wall in the same blueprint is 18 inches. So I'm going to put 18 with inches. That's why we want to make sure we label it so we don't mess that part up. All right, I've set this up. Now I need to identify the multiplicative relationship. So I'm looking at how 3 becomes 18 using multiplication. That's what that multiplicative means. So 3 times what gives me 18? Maybe you know it off the top of your head. Maybe you need to use division. I can do 18 divided by 3 to figure that out. So I'm doing it on my calculator. 18 divided by 3. Oh, that's 6. I should have known that. Silly me. So that means that 3 is being multiplied by 6 to give me 18. And then in order to keep a fraction equivalent, whatever I do to the top, I have to do it to the bottom. So I'm doing 5 times 6. Okay, so 5 times 6 is 30. So 30 feet is the length of the actual wall. I just set up a proportional relationship to figure that out, found the multiplicative relationship, and solved for the missing piece. Okay, that's how we can do it when there's just one part. All right, but sometimes they're going to give us a room, which usually has 2 measurements, and they may ask us for the area. In order to get that area, I got to solve for the actual lengths first, then do the area. All right, so it says the scale of a room in a blueprint is 3 inches to 5 feet. Huh, interesting. It's like it's the same one. And the room in the same blueprint is 18 inches by, that's what that X means, 12 inches. What is the area of the actual room? So they want area. And we've learned this before. Area equals length times width, okay? Or base times height. So I need to get the length and width in order to do so. So in order to do that, I'm going to start by using the scale factor. I'm going to set it up as a ratio. And I like to combine step 1 and 2. So 3 inches to 5 feet. So I've set up my ratio. I've labeled my units. Now I'm setting up an equivalent fraction, step 3, ensuring that my units in the denominator and numerator are the same. So inches on top, feet on bottom, feet on bottom. They gave me 2 measurements though, 18 inches and 12 inches. So I can only do one at a time. I'm just going to start with the 18 because that's what I did above. I already know this one, but I'm going to remind you, okay? So it was 18. I figured out the multiplicative up higher. Remember, I figured out that 3 times 6 gives me 18. Okay, so I just kind of copied from my above one. So 3 times 6 gives you 18. 5 times 6 gives me 30. So that means if I were to draw this, one side length is 30 feet. So I need the other one. So I'm doing the exact same thing. I can even kind of copy what I had, but now I'm using 12 inches. And I'm going to change my color so you see where I'm doing this, getting this from. Now I'm using 12 inches, okay? So I set it up the same way. 3 inches to 5 feet equals 12 inches to some amount of feet. I don't know yet. I'm looking for that multiplicative relationship. So 3 times something gives me 12. I know this one off the top of my head. 3 times 4 gives me 12, but if I didn't know, I could do 12 divided by 3. So 3 times 4, whatever I do to the top, I'm going to do it to the bottom to keep it equivalent. 5 times 4 is 20. So, okay, this other measurement is 20 feet. Now I can get the area. Area equals length times width. So I'm literally going to do 30 times 20. I know that 3 times 2 is 6. And every time there's a 0, I can just add that in. So 600. And I should keep my measurements. This is 600 feet squared. Area is always squared. That's my answer. So it wasn't that much more work. Writing it all out can take a little bit of work, but it's not too bad. It was simple addition, simple multiplication, simple division was the word I was trying to say. And I can use a calculator for all of this. So remember, look over it, try your best, and always message me if you need any help. Bye, friends.